Look at this. No Lake Westerdale. Woohoo! Snowdrops are out. It's the 2nd of February. And the thermometer here says it's 11 degrees. I think it's a little bit optimistic. It's probably more like 10. But it's very mild. It's about 10 o'clock. Just getting away with 3 big bullocks here, and they are big ones. Whether we'll get up here in second or not is very debatable. We'll get up the first rise in second. I think it will do it in second. Yeah, big though. This is the steepest bit. Sometimes you have to go to first just there. They're about like 3 big old cows, small cows rather. I was actually quite surprised how big they were. Once you see them out in the yard, they look different and much bigger. But very funny, but just being big alone isn't really a major plus point. I like the shape, and one of them's good shape. They're actually, he's one of twins, and the better one is slightly smaller. And the cow that had the twins, she had another good calf about Christmas. So that these are about 14 months or maybe a bit more. Because that one, because she had twins, I remember I didn't do her all that soon after. She's had twins 3 times. But unfortunately one time we had to carry on with her, and they were both dead, but we had to actually have the vet out to cut the calf up. Too much information for some people, but it was dead obviously, and it was completely jammed in a very strange position, so the least risk option for the cow was to have legs removed off the calf, and I think eventually we cut it in half. Although it sounds firstly it sounds really gruesome, but it sounds like, well, how the hell do you do that? They have like a cheese wire type thing, like a wire saw. And the chief thing I've noticed is it's incredibly hard work. We were quite a young vet doing it, and he was sweating like a pig. It was something like September time anyway. Doesn't feel like that long since I was last down here. November time it was. Usually I take some even the start of December. Somebody's coming up, so I'm just slowing down rather if I need to. So I don't have to stop. Hurry up, you cunt. He's dawdling. So I don't want to stop. I can avoid it. Anyway, this is one of their special sales. There's quite a lot entered in it as well. I entered mine about 2 weeks ago. And they want you to be penned by 11. It's easier said than done. But, try and get there. I usually am arriving about 11, but we should be there well before that. It's only just nicely gone 10. If all goes smoothly. I let this car out in front of me and it keeps braking forever nothing. Why would you brake there? Anyway, they load quite well. They're sort of quiet, these three, but quiet but playful. They didn't want to go into the loading shed because it was conceivably a trap. Usually that's alright because I think they're going down towards the cows, but the cows had, because partly because it's very windy, I think, they'd all gone down into the cubicle shed. There wasn't really any there. And it did help that one just came out and had a little moo, which I've been seeing the bullocks in the yard. So they went down towards them, and that's where they need to go, you see. They don't go right down to them, but they saw them behind the gate and they thought, oh, we'll head that way. Anyway, got them after about 10 minutes going round in gentle, because you don't want to sort of spook them. You can't be doing with like really scaring them, because that's why you end up with jumping over gates and all sorts of daft things. They need to think they're having a playful run around the yard. Then, oh, there's a way they can go down there and find where you want them to go themselves, which is what happened in the end. Funny, this morning I just as come out of the house and the phone went. I thought, oh no, what's this, market closed or something? Because it could happen. They could have had some problem where they can't have the market, trying to ring round everyone. But because it was just a random mobile number according to the thing. Then this bloody recorded message starts whittering on about how your bank details have been. Oh, no, transactions from your bank account, yeah, right. And I tell you what probably was, just late yesterday, I did a sort of a broadband check thing to see if there's any chance of different broadband deals. And all I did was I put the number in this thing and the postcode, and it was a legitimate looking thing. And then within 12 hours you're getting some cunt ringing you on that same number about bank details, bank account compromised or something. No, it isn't. So, you know, if I make a bank payment, I get a message on my mobile phone. They don't ring you up at home with a speaky message which says, with a little gap from your bank, because I don't know which bank it is. One of the more unusual things, apart from her braking when going uphill, you can get calls, it appears to be from somebody you know. I don't know how they even do this. It often shows, not often, this sometimes happens, you get an 01287, which is our code number, and even though you don't necessarily recognise the number, you think, oh, it was somebody local, maybe the cows have got out or something, you know. And when it starts up with something like that, Jesus. Seems to be just going to a crawl, this car. Down to 35 mile an hour now. Keep putting in brakes. I mean, obviously, it's fair enough to touch the brakes when you're coming up near sheep and things. I think I'm going to try and get past them down this straight down here. No, not this first one, because there's a double bend just after. I can hardly keep going in fourth. I mean, I don't really have a problem with people stopping, going slowly to admire their view. They're going a bit faster again now. Fuel's a bit cheaper again anyway. 149 for diesel, and we have 150. Oh, they're back again. 150 really. He has a little motorbike again. Oh no, it's not a proper motorbike. Oh, it's two little like mopeds. There was one bit there. He had like an unexpectedly good-looking sports bike. I don't know, it was somebody just visiting or so. It was an older one, but you know, it looked quite decent. But he was there for a while earlier on, then you could say, like, through the depth of winter, the heart of winter, Christmas and January, well, he certainly was. He went away before Christmas somewhere, but before that there was a caravan in bits. Quite a few people were upset. He had two quite small dogs. I mean, they looked well cared for, but they were like chained up on lightweight chains outside, and they looked so dejected, especially when it was raining and cold, because small dogs can't really take that, can they? And it wasn't like they had if it were on the farm, it was a Jack Russell or somebody could go and hide in some bales if he wanted to, but they were just chained up under or near the van. And there was one particular incident where one of them ran out towards the road, and a wagon thought he was going to run into the road. He didn't see it was on a chain, and he sort of veered across into the oncoming traffic to some extent. He didn't actually have an accident, but it just showed it was less than desirable. .35 according to my... I think we've been 5 minutes longer than we would have been just dawdling behind that car. Someone's had a whoopsie and hit someone's... What is it? Oh, it should be on the roundabout. I wonder how that happened. They don't start selling cattle until 12:30, so although they want them in by 11, a few bikes about today. I saw one coming out before, and that's the third. It's funny, right? Back in the 80s, early 90s at least, when I had a big bike, I thought nothing of going to York for the day. I wouldn't set off till about now, in the middle of winter. I say go for the day, go for a couple of hours. Because the thing is, in those days, with no internet, generally speaking, you did more shopping trips, one sort or another, for little bits and bobs that now you'd buy online. And like York, for example, always had more little specialist shops like CB radio and things. I don't think I ever bought CB radio gear there. And I used to go to Redcar at least once a month because we'd go get my hair cut there. Walk up and down the high street. Just don't go anywhere now, it's what we used to do. But you can see, for example, this pickup is 10 years old. It's only done 25,000 miles. So, in other words, it's averaging less than 3,000 miles a year, closer to 2.5. It's hard to believe, really. Because some of the miles I do on my bike, you see, I don't do many on them either, about 1,000 each per year at most. So, compared to what we used to do, far less miles, and the miles that I do are like this. Like business related, shall we say, unavoidable. And yet I still spend far more on the vehicles than we ever used to do. It's quite a strong headwind along here. The river's pretty high still, sort of running level with its inside banks. It's not up to the embankments alongside. But there's quite a bit of water trapped outside the embankments because it can't get into the river. Trailer on a trailer. Nice to see the kids there. They must have been somewhere. Possibly playing fields or something. I can't see where that would be. Anyway. don't know why I found that particularly nerve-wracking. I started thinking, I know it's ridiculous really, I started thinking I had, the roads in Malton are so bumpy, I started feeling a bit like I maybe had a flat tyre or something. This is one of my little obsessions, I must admit. Because it's quite difficult at first, it's rather subtle, you get a sort of slight lack of willingness to roll, shall we say. But the there's nothing wrong with it, it's rolling fine. And then I started feeling that the steering was a bit sort of vague and wandering. Again, I think it's just the bloody bumpy old roads. Much as I usually quite enjoy staying with them, but I'm not going to, because the cows are still all to feed and they were about eaten up. They had a bale of silage.
I feel I never held again to the needy. Come on and see me. Yippee, yippee, ay, 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 ay. I had to crucify some brother today, and I don't dig what you gotta say. So come on and say yeah. Come on and tell me twice. you gotta